Hey, what's up, fam? I'm back, man. I'm back like a mug. You know what I'm saying? I want to come back on through here and redo this conversation topic right here. Pretty much everyone who heard the last live stream, I'm gonna hit the same exact point. So if y'all heard me already say this, I'm gonna do this express style and just kind of breeze on through it because the last one, the audio, my microphone was unplugged. I got two mics in here, so I got another mic over there, and I had that one plugged up, thinking that this one was plugged up. So the sound on it is crap. It's crap, and I'm not gonna stand for it. So I want to clean that up, and I'm gonna do an express version, if you will, of pretty much the last live stream. So everyone that tuned in on that live stream, thank you very much. Much love to y'all, and appreciate you all. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say this. First off, I answered the question of why is Keith Thurman mad? We seen Keith Thurman going on the rants about Bob Arum. He was saying something to the effect of F Bob Arum and stuff like that. But anyone who just coming on through, just know I'm redoing the last live stream, fam, because the audio was crap. So I got to just hit on the same exact point. So anyone that has sat through that live stream, it's the same thing. What's up, fam? Kush the greatest. I see you, family. I see you. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So Keith Thurman is pissed off at Bob Arum. Pretty much we all see it come down to money. You know what I mean? And this is all leading from, I believe, the Bob Arum interview that he did on the Barbershop, in which he told Barbershop, oh, okay, cool. All right. And yeah, which he told Barbershop that basically behind the scenes that he was actually talking to Keith Thurman. And according to Bob Arum, his position is, a representative of Keith Thurman came to him and he told that representative to get back to me with a number. And here we are a couple days later, and Keith Thurman is going crazy on his Instagram. Your man out this joint throwing F-bombs, saying F this, F that, F Bob Arum, screw Bob Arum, talking about how Bob Arum lost everybody over years. And most importantly, hitting on the points that Bob Arum, you got to start paying people, champ. You got to stop offering these low checks. You know what I mean? So Keith is pissed off. Now, I'm almost wondering if this is a clout chasing thing. I'm almost wondering that because Keith definitely has a route on his side of the tracks. He can go towards Errol Spence Jr., who got his all his old titles. He got his old prestige. He's the pay-per-view attraction that Keith always wanted to be. Keith needs to be putting all of his energy and making it back right there. But instead, he's still looking towards across the street. So the only thing that you got to say is like, yo, bro, why are you looking across the street so hard now? All of a sudden. And the thing is that some people say Keith want money. It's about the money. Now, it's hard for me to agree and say that this dude is totally trustworthy when he asked for $10 million in the pandemic. Damn hard. You know what I'm saying? Damn hard to just trust that. So my thing is, I don't know if Keith is doing this for clout, but if he want to do this for a route, well, it's right there in front of him. If you want to do this for clout and you want to ask for a astronomical amount of money in a pandemic, 7 to 10, because according to Keith Thurman doing his rant, he'll come at a discount, but not that much of a discount. So we were looking because he asked for 10. So what is he looking to go between 6 and 10, 5 and 10? According to Bob Arum on the interview, I can't even find half of that. I can't even find 5. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Keith Thurman knows exactly where Bob Arum stands. And you know that Bob Arum is playing cheap right now. You know that Bob Arum is not looking to pay astronomical money for Crawford's opponents. So why keep going down? Why keep banging this drum? That's unless you're willing to be reasonable or bend to their will and say, all right, give me 3 to 5. Give me 3 to 5 million. And we could do it on regular ESPN. We don't need no pay-per-view. Give me 3 to 5. You know what I'm saying? That would be more realistic. You know what I'm saying? Real spill. My thing is, Bob never believed in Keith, even when Keith was a unified champion. When Keith was unified back in the day, Keith would have fought Terence if he could have got a large amount of money back then. Keith let it be known out in the public with statements that I'm down to fight as long as the money is right. And I need a lot of money. At the time, Keith probably had to stand in the axe for that because he was unified. And he had momentum at his back, getting 2 belts, beating Danny, beating Sean. He was on NBC, got seen by all of those people. I think he kicked it off with PBC on regular television. So Thurman probably felt like, yo, I'm on my way and I need that money. I got the momentum. He had a better standing back then to ask for that, but Bob Arum never respected him. Terence Crawford never respected him. They never saw Keith as a draw. Bob knows the real numbers. He's not like PBC where they can sit back, take losses, fudge numbers, yada, yada, yada. He can't do that. He can't. he got to look at what the actual numbers are, because guess what? I ain't got that much money to play with. So Bob knows what they're drawing, and Bob knows exactly how much they're really worth. And he knows how much his boy Crawford is worth. And he know it ain't much money between them dudes. Not to mention Bob could be still stuck in the mindset of 2 black fighters don't sell. You know, Bob, he's still old school with it. Black and a Mexican. So my thing is that Bob never respected Keith. He always made it crystal clear. We want Earl or Manny. Sean, you got to come dirt cheap or don't come at all. Keith, you got to come dirt cheap or don't come at all. Danny, we'll give you $3 million. Either you take this, because we know that's how much you made in your last fight. We'll give you 3. And if we put it on pay-per-view, 3 plus back end. But Danny don't even want to have a conversation. He don't even want to renegotiate nothing or counter offer nothing. Danny, like, I'm good. Why would I go over there for that 3 when I can get that from PBC over here fighting Joe Blow on Fox or whatever? You know what I'm saying? That's Danny's position. But they never believed in Keith. They always looked at Keith as like, yeah, okay, we hear you. You can fight, but where you from again? You ain't got a town. You ain't got a country. You ain't got a block. You ain't got a store. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. What do you got? What are you bringing to the table, Keith? And now today, if he felt like that back then as Keith, as a unified champion, now today where Keith has been inactive, coming off of a loss. Well, how much is Keith? No belts. If he wasn't willing to give you that then, Keith, what makes you think he was willing to give you that now? So why would you ask for it? Why do you think that Bob Arum is in such a desperate position that he's just going to give you big time money like that when you can't draw and Crawford barely can draw? He is a promoter. He is not a boxing fan. He don't care about your wins and losses. It's about your prestige and drawing power. To a promoter, how much money am I going to make? I got no crowds. And Crawford ain't really moved no units on pay-per-view like that. And neither has, well, Manny Pacquiao. But, I mean, you ain't got no belts. You ain't got nobody ain't talking about you. All the casuals remember is you losing to Manny Pacquiao. What can I do with that? But you want 6 to 10, 5? What you want? Muhammad Tola in the building. Bruce goes, we going back over the same points again, family. Just because I know you was there on the last one. The mic was out, you know what I'm saying? And the sound was horrible. So I'm just kind of expressing through that last live stream, fam. Thank you for coming back, though. Thank you for coming back. Salute, main man, and the fam. I agree with Thurman. Arum is not willing to pay for a world-class level fight for Crawford. I agree with that, too. And we're going to get there, Muhammad. Absolutely. I agree with him 100% on that. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get there. We're going to definitely get there. It seems as if that Arum is acting more like an accountant instead of a promoter. I hear that. I hear that. He counting them dollars, fam. These dudes like to take Bob at his words when it's comfy and any other time that he's a liar. Damn, he was, he said that above. We don't do that, fam. Was he lying when he said the Bud versus Pac fight was supposed to happen in the Middle East? 23.5 mil. We don't diss the LDBC over here, fam. That's fam over there. I got a lot of cool cats over there, so we don't do no dissing of the LDBC over here. But I get your point. You know what I'm saying? I get your point. He says that when he said that Bud versus Pac fight was supposed to happen in the Middle East for 23.5 mil. Facts. That lets you know. That lets you know that Bob is searching for money. You know what I'm saying? He's searching for money back. He ain't got no money to play with. And Thurman and them know it. He's let it be known to the world. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. People, the Bud detractors, they like to run away and say, oh, well, look, Bob is crapping on Bud. Look, he ain't talking about he ain't going to spend no money on Bud. And he did it. But we don't never talk about Tyson Fury, Vasyl Lomachenko, and the fact that Bob Arum just put on a series of shows in the MGM Grand in the bubble, which were all losers, financial-wise. But it's all Bud's fault. So Bob is looking at his budget like, I ain't got it, champ. I just don't got it. And I'm not going to pay you these astronomical amounts of money that y'all be coming over here asking me for when I got no crowds. Y'all never was big time. I can't really put you on pay-per-view. You've not shown to be a pay-per-view star. You and Bud together, I don't know if it makes magic or not. I know him and Spence do. They make beautiful magic together. But I don't know if you and Bud do. And I think that's what Bob's position is. He's in it to make money. Not to mention, we went over this last. Terence Crawford, contract is up this year. If you Bob Arum, are you willing to invest in Terence Crawford knowing he might be walking out the door? Will you do that if you're Bob Arum? Let's just say he does do it. Keith Thurman, certified threat, can beat Terence Crawford. Yes, he can. Skill set wise, say what you want about no matter. Keith Thurman versus anybody at the top of welterweight is 50-50. And he can beat Terence. How will Bob look losing a bag of money to Keith, the WBO, the world title, and taking the prestige off Crawford? How does that make financial sense for Bob? And that's the way you got to look at it. That's how Bob is looking at it. And it's unfortunate. So that leads me to believe that Bob Arum is afraid of Keith Thurman. He's afraid of Keith Thurman. Keith has been asking for big money for years, but Bob ain't been willing to take that gamble, even when Keith was unified. Because you know why? Keith can actually beat Bud and take away a lot of things off Bud. It's possible. And guess what? Bob Arum, you can't keep Keith Thurman if he beats Terence Crawford. There is no options you can put on Keith Thurman because he's an Al Heyman fighter. And Al Heyman ain't going to allow no options on Keith Thurman. So if Bob Arum was to, if Terence Crawford was to lose to Keith, and Bob Arum loses Terence Crawford, he loses the world title, his grip on the WBO, all for a fighter that might be walking out the door in October. Is that realistic, fight fans? Riddle me that. Bob Arum is who we talking about. That's just the facts of the matter. That's just the facts of the matter. That's just the facts of the matter. Let's look at it one more way. If Bud Crawford beats Keith Thurman, what does this do for Bud? Does it heighten him in negotiations against Errol Spence Jr.? Maybe get him 5% more? Is that what y'all saying? Man, he can then say 55-45, no problem. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. But right now, we in the fourth quarter. That fight should have happened in the second quarter. We in the fourth quarter now where we want to see Bud and Spence. Bud and Spence. If we're going to do some crossing of the streets at this point, it need to be crossing between Bud and Spence or Bud and Pacquiao. Right now, we've waited 3 long years. And we ain't waiting no more. So if we're going to cross some streets around this joint, we need to be crossing for Bud and Earl. And Keith, if you want a route, you go for the route that's right there in front of you. Easy, simple, and Simon. You ain't got to cross no streets. You ain't got to ask for big money. You can get back into the win column with PBC and go straight after Earl. Boxing fans will be willing to take a detour for Errol Spence Jr. versus Keith Thurman. I'm almost willing to bet it. They'll do it. They'll do it. So they're your route right there, Keith. You know what I'm saying? But he knows what it is. Now let's talk about Bob issue some more. Bob has got to understand that if Bud is going to stay there, you're going to have to eventually pay. You're going to have to pay for some opposition for Terence Crawford. You can't think about keeping Terence Crawford and you ain't going to pay for the opposition. I don't know what they waiting on, but clearly Bob is running around this joint like, look, if I ain't making no money off it, it ain't going to go. They just pulled Tyson Fury out of his last fight, remember? And I heard on the last live stream that they're going to be announcing Tyson Fury and Joshua next week. We'll see if that happens. We'll see. They say Tyson Fury announced it on his Instagram. We'll see. But the fact of the matter is he pulled him out because he's not willing to lose no more money. It's about money with Bob. It ain't about fake puffed up numbers. He know what the numbers are. Now here's the deal. PBC, they are willing to lose money on fighters. That was in their program. That's how they came on the scene, raising the stock prices of all of their fighters, paying their fighters all of this extra money to fight on regular television and stuff like. They came through the door with $500 million to blow. They paid up all the time slots on all of the networks, and they paid the fighters all of this money and then expected everyone else to do it. The thing is, it was brilliant plan by Al Heyman, because Al Heyman does not have his fighters locked in promotional agreements, so they can be plucked off. That's why Eddie Hearn, when he got that DAZN money, he came straight for the PBC fighters, because none of them are locked in. Only a select few. A select few. But for the most part, none of them are not locked in. And so What Al Heyman has done is raise their prices so they can't be plucked off. And if you do want to come and get one of my dudes, guess what? They're going to show ultimate loyalty to the guy that's paying them all the top dollars. And you can borrow him for a fight or so, but you're going to pay him what I'm paying him or better. So all of them going to make good money. Well, PBC took a loss first year because of that. They took a major loss. They recouped that money since then, but they took a loss doing that. And you can't expect for everyone else to do that, to overpay. So yeah, their prices have all been raised. All of their stocks have been raised. They are no longer, they're going for much more than they've ever been going for. So now if you want one of these dudes, you're going to have to pay him. And the first thing that they do is run and say, well, my daddy Al, he pays me XYZ. Why can't you beat that? Well, guess what? That's why Bob is like, well, then tell Al to pay you because I can't do it. If he want to keep taking L's, then fine. I can't take them. I just can't do it. PBC, they've done a smart thing, I think, also by putting their fights on pay-per-view. We wonder why we're seeing all these pay-per-views, and it's strictly to pay the fighters. It has nothing to do with trying to break pay-per-view numbers. It's to pay the fighters because PBC knows that their numbers are so high for them to face each other. For me to do Danny and Errol, well, I got to put it on pay-per-view. I don't care if it hit 200, 250 or what. That's enough to pay the fighters. The numbers that they want. Their numbers are high. Al Heyman raised all of his elite fighters' numbers up so no one can pluck them off. And so for them to go outside, it's going to be expensive. It's going to be very expensive. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be expensive. It's going to be expensive. But that's Bob's problem. Now, at the end of the day, this whole situation between Keith Thurman, man, and Bob Arum and Terence Crawford, it's always came down to respect. You know what I'm saying? It always came down to respect. They never respected Keith Thurman because Bob Arum never believed that Keith Thurman was a draw. Even in Sean Porter, you see the same thing. He don't respect Sean because he never thought that Sean was a draw. It's not that he doesn't respect Sean because Sean has never beat no one, or he's not a good fighter, or he's not former champion, and it's going to be an exciting fight. I'm sure all those boxes are checked. Bob don't think in that manner. Bob thinks that how much did he draw in his last? He don't care if you got 15 losses. If you moved 1 million pay-per-view units, he loves you. And he's trying to work with you. Simple. It's an old school promoter's thought process. That's just how he thinks. And at this point where the network money, he's taking losses even with, which is surprising because like Keith said, you with ESPN, bro. And we know ESPN is paying most of the fighters' salaries, but Bob ain't got no crowds. He ain't got no gate money. He throwing money up in he throwing shows in the MGM in a bubble where he's making nothing, even in this Tyson Fury and Joshua situation. Well, it's based on the UK, I'm sure, changing their COVID rules. Because at the end of the day, unless that Middle Eastern money is going to come from nowhere, they can't put this in the UK because they can't make no money. Eddie Hearn is well on record saying that if we put it in the UK today, we lose 80%. 80%. Fighters got to take half of the purses that they asking for because there ain't going to be enough in the crowd section. So everybody's scraping for cash. Ain't nobody willing to take no L's, right? Look at the zone. They cut back. They got rid of Canelo's contract. They cut Triple G's contract back. Everyone's cutting back. But Keith Thurman felt like he can come off of being out in the jungle somewhere, playing a flute or whatever he been doing. He cut his hair, and he think he can come back out of nowhere and ask for more money than anybody. Without a belt, without a town, without a country, without a block, without a street, without a city. What do you got, bro? You're a great fighter. And I think you and Bud is 50-50. I think you got a great chance on beating Terence Crawford. And this is all a safe face. Clout chase. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. My thing is, Bud better take note. Bud better take note that every time we get to a point where we're talking about an opponent for Terence Crawford now, it's always coming down to the money. Always coming down to somebody's too expensive and this person is too expensive. The fact is they do realize their leverage over at PBC, and they realize that Crawford, your opposition is limited. They do realize that. But I think Terence Crawford is even, like I told people in the last live stream, and I know a lot of y'all ain't gonna agree with this, but I think Terence Crawford is playing his hand. I think Terence Crawford now, at least today, not yesterday, not yesteryear, Not the last 3 years, but I think now, today, we're at a point where Terence Crawford is stalling that fight now too. The talk is good. The hype is great. You know what I mean? We could do Terence Crawford videos till the cows come home. But he's stalling now too. And the reason is it's re-up time for Terence Crawford. And why would I give anybody this Errol Spence Jr. fight knowing that I got to re-sign a contract? I can get more money knowing that that fight is in my future. Based on that fight alone, my contract is going to have to be fat. So why would I give any promoter that fight right now when my contract with Top Rank is about to supposedly, allegedly end in October? Why would I give anyone that fight? Or should I wait to re-up with this fight? So when I listen to Bud say he's not ducking me, when I listen to Bud say I don't want to fight him after his car crash, I want him to get on his feet, which is all BS. When I listen to him say that, that means he's stalling for time just like the next man. And right now, I don't think he did it yesteryear. Like I said, the last few years, no. I think that was real talk. But now I think Bud is just chilling and waiting till October. Bring on the mandatory. If it's going to be Sean Porter, if it's going to be Virgil or whoever it's going to be, Mikey, whoever the WBO can hunt and find, because the first 3 people don't want to fight. Whoever that's going to be, put them in there, and that'll carry me over till October. And then we can sit down and have a conversation about who's going to get paid what. Can you blame them? Is the question. Can you blame them? And right now, Keith Thurman, you should have came back around in the second or third quarter. You don't come around late in the game when we've been waiting for 3 years for Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford, or Errol Spence versus, or Terence Crawford versus a Manny Pacquiao. You don't come this late in the game when you've been living under a rock somewhere and then come out and just say, I want to know. Go after what was yours, Keith. Go after what was yours. Crawford is in the past now. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You need to be lasered in on the man named Errol Spence Jr. Why? Because Errol Spence Jr. sat next to you ringside at a fight, looked you in the eyes. He didn't go on Twitter. He didn't go on Facebook. He looked you in the eyes ringside and says, I'll stop you in 6. That's what that man told you, champ. He told you that to your face. He said, I'll stop you in 6. And you let that ride. You let that ride. Not only did he tell you I'll stop you in 6, but he took your belts. Not only did he take your belts, but he beat your opponents that you beat, and he got more prestige than you. Not only top of that, he is a pay-per-view now attraction with a humongous stake behind him. He is the prize. But you talking at Terence. He took your spot. They calling him the new Keith Thurman. I've even called him the new Keith Thurman. He took your spot, but you looking at Bud because you want cash out. Why ain't Al giving you that money? Is Al gonna pay you that much money to fight Earl? That's riddle me that. If he paid you 8 for Pacquiao, because you clearly wanted 10 for Bud, and you got paid 8 for Pacquiao on pay-per-view, right? Could you get 10 for Earl? I wonder that. Or is it just to embarrass Bob Arum, or to hang Bob and Bud out there like that? Try to save face, give people 20 more videos to make against Bud. Is that what this is about? Because why ain't Al giving you that for Earl? You should be lasering in on Earl. The man got your belts. Man got your belts. I don't know. Let me get to some of the fam, man. See what y'all talking about. Salute to everybody, man, that came on through, and salute to everybody that caught that first live stream. I'm redoing that live stream. You know, man, I got to work hard. It is what it is. I do it for y'all. I'm redoing that live stream because the audio was toe up because my microphone was unplugged. And I know, if anybody, please, y'all, if y'all hear me doing these streams, man, and y'all hear, yo, man, yeah, I talk on the mic. If y'all see me talking on the mic, I'm on the mic. I'm not gonna have you here for that. If y'all don't hear it on, hit me with a signal in the chat or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, the mic is out. That way I can slow down. You know what I'm saying? And not have to redo these joints over again, because I'm trying to keep the channel nice and clean. You know what I mean? With good quality content. Salute, Mainman. Oh, I already went through that. All right. Let's see. Kush the Greatest says, yo, these dudes. Oh, we already went through that one. We went through that one too. My man Black Star TV is in the building. What's up, family? You already know. My bro Mainman with the fresh cap all day. Hey, we taking it next year, champ. Yeah, next year. I think we might got to give Dak the money, man. We might got to give it to him. I'm not a believer in Dalton, family. We got to get Dalton up out of there, man. Get Andy Dalton out of there now. Let's make that a hashtag. You know what I'm saying? Keith asked for 10, but he'll take 5, no problem. And the fight will do record numbers on ESPN. I'm guessing 5 to 6 million viewers will tune in. And that's a respectable deal, Muhammad told him. Look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. And I said this before, like, yo, bro, as a boxing fan, do I think Keith Thurman is worth every bit of what he's asking for? Look, man, you ask me as the fan, I say absolutely. That's Keith one-time Thurman, former unified champion. But we don't hold accomplishments in this discussion for money, right? So, but if you ask me as the boxing fan, I say give it to him and make the fight. You know what I'm saying? But if you're Bob Arum, you know what I mean? That's the question. And you know what you're going through with Terence Crawford. You in a period of uncertainty with Terence Crawford. Ain't nothing certain right now. Would you go above and beyond to invest in that man? That's the question. As a promoter, I get it. As a boxing fan, if I did this from a fan's point of view, 150 million%, get a man his damn money. Let's see the damn fight. Bud needs some opposition. Let's go. Let's go. If we were in a perfect world, then we go up right into the Errol Spence Jr. situation. But that ain't what's going to happen. That ain't what it is. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what it is. And I know this is an unrealistic price out type, ask type thing. Now, if he going to go for 5, look, my position is like I told you, Bob has got to pay sometime if he's willing to do it. But I know he ain't going to do it this year. But that's a damn good deal. Give Keith 5. Bob ain't willing to give Keith 5. Bud gonna walk out the door on Bob, man. He gonna walk out the door. Kush the Greatest says, yo, man, Keith is worth at least 3.5, in my opinion. Without a doubt. I think he worth 3.5 to 5. You know what I'm saying? That's what I on regular ESPN. 3.5 to 5. I think that's a good number, but you got to remember, Bud, if you giving Keith 3.5 to 5, Bud gonna want 6. That's 11 million right there with no gate. That's 11 million with no gate. ESPN may cover Bud's salary, but will they cover Keith's salary? I'm just saying. Marquise in the building. What's up, family? What's up, man? Happy Friday to you, man. What's up, man? Yeah, man. All day, Bruce. Appreciate you, man. Bruce, man, I'll be hearing you on panels, bro. I want to get you on the panel, man. I like your boxing talk, fam. I'm gonna get you and a lot of other fam on the panel with me, man. You know what I'm saying? If y'all got some time today, I got time. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Matter of fact, fuck it. You know what I mean? We can just do this like this. You know what I mean? I'm not too hip. I think this is how you do it. I love to hear anybody else's point of view on this. I'm very interested. Let me know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. All right. Just get these headphones. Yeah, man. Anybody want to get on with the homie, man? Let me know. Just let me know. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If you fam, you know that counts extra. You get on fast. You know what I'm saying? All day. So if anybody do want to get on, just let me know. The link is in the chat. Any fan want to get on, let me know. The link is in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Hold on 1 second. Let me go. And there we go. All right. Let's get to talking. So I can make sure I hear y'all and stuff. I got my homie Renee Box Young in the building. What's up, family?
Big Mainman, it's great to be here, man. How you doing?
Hey, man, it's great to have you, man. Much love to you, man. You know, we up here talking this real spill today. You know what it is, man. Salute to you, man. Salute to you.
All day.
So, man, Renee, what do you think about this, fam? What do you think about this whole Keith Thurman asking for all of this money or whatever the case may be for Terence Crawford and Bob Arum? Give me your thoughts on this, man.
You know what I like about, all these platforms, we all have different perspectives and, input, and opinions concerning all these, topics that we see in the sport of boxing. Mm-hmm. Apart from the money, the thing here about, Thurman, I just, made a video recently about it, talking about it, went live, also chopping this up. I'm saying, generally speaking, and this goes for Keith Thurman, definitely. This goes for Pacquiao. This goes for Joseph Parker. This goes for, the list goes on and on, man. Unfortunately, Jojo Diaz, Tevin Farmer. Man, just names out there. Chris Eubank Jr. What am I talking about? I'm talking precisely about the thing here is Keith Thurman, man, he's just been way inactive. That's the biggest thing that, the sport of boxing, man, is a sport where you have to be active constantly because fans are going to forget you, man. There are so many fighters out there. There are so many events. There are so many other big names out there who are active. And, people like Keith Thurman, unfortunately, are going to be put to the side and just be forgotten about. That phrase, out of sight, out of mind, man. So it seems like, Keith Thurman, unfortunately, I just don't like the pattern ever since, what was it, years ago, man, ever since just out of a sudden, just out of the blue, disappeared, and then injury after injury, and then just extending, and then just coming out of nowhere saying, hey, I'm going to come back and just start saying this and that. And he's doing the same thing right now. It's a pattern, that we have been seeing so commonly of Keith Thurman. Unfortunately, in my humble opinion, I'm saying, at least with me, I don't know about everybody else, but Keith Thurman is kind of irrelevant now, man, when it comes to the sport of boxing. It's sad to say. Of course, yeah, he's coming in, he's speaking up, he's speaking, being vocal about Bob, saying he wants to punch him in the mouth. And yeah, I get it. I'm saying? He wants to come back and stuff. But, I don't know. It's really, he doesn't even have a belt anymore. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. What you're saying, I totally agree that it would be nice to see him just go shoot for Spence. You know what I'm saying? But who knows if these guys are even going to give him an opportunity? You think they're going to take Thurman seriously just by what I'm saying right now? He's coming in and out. When was the last fight? When was his last fight against Pacquiao? When did he fight? About a year and a half ago?
Yeah, year and a half ago.
Come on, that's a long time, man. And these other names I just mentioned right now, all due respect, obviously, love these fighters, but these names I just mentioned right now, and there are more, they've been inactive for at least a year. At least. What's going on with these guys? That's the thing. That's the problem. That's one of the problems and issues I see in the sport of boxing, man, that, sometimes fighters, man, they just become inactive and wait too long. What are they doing? Like I said, I repeat, these, all due credit to Canelo. I know Canelo has his trajectory, it's shady stuff. And I totally agree with you, man, with them videos you've been posting out, pushing. And when you talk about Canelo and those certain things and aspects, I definitely respect him as a fighter, of course. But shouts out to him, man. He's planned to fight 3 times. Well, it's a plan. Doesn't mean he's going to do it, right? But right. Shouts out to his objective and intention. 3 times this year. Let's see if it happens. If it does, shouts out to him. Shouts out to Jerome Ennis. How many times that boy's active? Yeah, that boy Jerome Ennis is active, dude. You see what I'm saying? There are fighters out there who are constantly active. They want to keep pushing their names out there. You know what I'm saying? And definitely respect that. And these top names, man, who are just coming in and out and just messing around, they get the bag and they become complacent and they're just like, thinking that like the world is waiting on them. No, the world moves on, especially in the sport of boxing, man. Nobody's going to be waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? So I personally think that Thurman, man, is kind of irrelevant. It's sad to say, it may be controversial, whatever, but that's just my humble opinion, man.
I think it's all about momentum and, confidence. You got to keep the confidence of your fan base up in you. And most importantly, any momentum that you grab, you got to keep it going. My thing is, even with the loss that Keith suffered to Manny Pacquiao, he didn't give a bad performance in that fight, where even if he would have came right back behind that, Keith would have still had some support from fans, especially me. I'd have been like, yo, he lost it, but he gave a valiant effort. It is what it is. By him falling off the end of the earth, you know what I mean? Then showing the weight, ballooning up in weight between fights. These type of things make the fan base start to lose confidence in Keith Thurman. We know his abilities. We know he's sharp. We know when he's on his A game, but one of the best fighters in the welterweight division all day. But if you don't stay on the scene, stay around us, keep it visible in our minds that you are who you are. He sat back and laid in obscurity so long, where Errol Spence literally walked into that, well, should I say, took that position. You know what I mean? Because Keith, that one loss from Pacquiao, bro, if he would have just stayed active and stayed in the mix, I think he'd still had some sort of momentum. And I think the fans would have still remained confident in him, knowing that, yo, he's still giving good performances. Keith ain't all the way gone. He ain't looking to just disappear or cash out or whatever they trying to accuse him of now. So now I just think that he just needs to get back into the win column. It's like the Adrian Bronner argument. He got to get back into the win column to bring the confidence and that momentum back before he start running around here trying to boss up on everybody. You know what I mean?
That's facts, man. And the thing here is that it's exactly what you said. Had Keith Thurman, come off that loss, Pacquiao loss, it was a great fight. I mean, as a matter of fact, man, when you go back to it, I'm one of those few, I guess. I don't know how many. There's so many people in the box community. You know what I'm saying? So many platforms, whatever. But my personal opinion is that Pacquiao won by a slight margin. Had it not been for that knockdown, it probably would have been close to a draw, man.
Facts.
Keith Thurman did pretty good in that fight, man. A lot of people don't really. I don't know if a lot of people say that, but from what I saw, man, it was a close fight, very close fight. Kind of reminds me of the kind of controversy between Porter and Spence fight. A lot of people say, had it not been for that knockdown, probably would have been a draw or something like that. So, I mean, I think that, Thurman didn't, had he came off that loss, and like you said, even if it were a tune-up fight after Pac-Man, Keith Thurman would have kept being relevant. He would have been more active, and a lot of people would be more. They would believe him more. And I think that right now in the boxing community, as far as maybe generally speaking, as far as with me at least, and it sounds like with you also to a certain extent, that they don't really believe in Thurman anymore, man. It's sad, but it's true.
What chance do you give Keith Thurman amongst the elite welterweights? Do you give him a chance of coming back and picking up maybe where he left off, or do you not see it? You think it's just gone?
It's hard to say, man, because we already see these top-notch fighters, Bud Crawford, Spence, et cetera, et cetera. These guys, they can see the weakness in Thurman. What's the weakness? Body shots, man. They saw him get hurt against Josecito. They saw him get hurt against Pacquiao with them body shots. So, and these guys are body punchers, man. These guys are body snatchers, man. Crawford knows how to go to the body hard. Spence knows how to go to the body hard. So, I honestly kind of doubt it, man. I don't see. I mean, I'm sure he would give a competition. I'm sure he would be competitive, but and also, quote unquote ring rust. You don't really see Thurman in spar. You don't see him in training. You don't see him. I mean, yeah, I kind of see it to a certain extent lopsided. If you were to fight Bud, I would see it 60-40 Bud. And I'm not talking about the money negotiations. I'm talking about like the probability of winning, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Yes.
I like that 60-40. That's a good 60-40. You know what I mean? Not that money talk, bro. The odds in the ring. Now we talking. Yeah. I'm with you 100%. I give him about 60-40 for Bud too, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but and even with Spence, 60-40, even with Spence too, man.
Oh, towards Bud? You got a
no. Spence, if he fought Thurman, I would even say 60-40 in that fight too.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see it. I mean, we do know the weaknesses of Keith Thurman. It's the body shots, and we know that Errol Spence Jr. is a body digger, and it'll be interesting. But Keith is a mover. I look at it. I think between those three, between Crawford, Spence, and Keith. As long as Keith is Keith, not joking Keith, not blowing up in weight Keith. I mean, Keith. I think all three of them are 50-50 when they're on their A game. You know what I mean? And I don't think, and I think that we're in a day and age in boxing where we need to get the clear-cut answer on who is the guy. Like, we want to say Earl because we see what he do to these fighters. We want to say Bud because the knockout streaks, but we won't know until they mix it up, man. And I think with the styles that each of them bring, they all bring a bit of different things to the ring. Thurman and Bud being more similar, but they all bring something different to the ring. And I think we're at a time in boxing where nothing else ain't making sense. Sean Porter, we love you, but it ain't making sense right now for the boxing fans. And Danny Garcia, same thing. But those three, bro, ain't no telling, man. Ain't no telling. You know what I mean? Ain't no telling, man. But I like it. I just hope it all works out. I just hope that Keith ain't clout chasing, you know what I'm saying? And I hope this is real talk. Lawrence, what's up, Lawrence? You got some time, bro? Let me know. You know what I'm saying? Get on up in here, man. The link is in the chat, fam. If you want to come on up on this joint, fam.
Hey, man, if I can ask you a question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You plan on doing this more often, like inviting people or something like that? Because, I would love to jump on and just let me know, like, what times you got,
Yeah, 100%. Me, sometimes it's mostly random. I don't like usually setting times, but I'm getting to that set time thing. Yeah, because every time I do that, man, I end up going past it or something. So it's mostly random, but I definitely want to do this more often, man. We got some good boxing minds that come through, man. And you, yourself, guys like Lawrence, man, all of y'all are more than welcome. Y'all been rocking with the homie, and anytime, bro, you could just come on through and say, hey, man, if you got some time, can I? Absolutely. I would love to get on your platform sometime.
Oh, heck yeah. I'll definitely consider that. Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. So anytime you want to jump on, fam, man, it's nothing, man. I'm not always got to be a solo act. You know what I'm saying? Real spill, man. Real spill. You know what I mean? But I heard you talking about Canelo, fam. I know you're a Canelo fan, and you seen I've been kind of going in a little bit on Canelo, man. How you feeling your boy Canelo right now, man?
You know, the thing here is that Canelo, I mean, I definitely appreciate, this is my standpoint, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, people have hated me, criticized me, whatever, right? I'm a small platform and it's crazy how I got that attention, but whatever, right? It is what it is. You know,
you're entitled to your own opinion, fam.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing here is that people think I'm a Canelo hater, as a matter of fact. You know, I've said it time and time again, ever since I talked about Canelo, sometimes talk about Canelo on my platform. One of the things that I try to avoid on my platform, man, is to talk too much about a fighter. You know, I try to keep it as neutral as possible because I'm more than anything, I'm a fan of the sport of boxing, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I like Canelo. I like his style. What I really appreciate about him is that, you know, that Mexican heart that he has, you know, that, you know, he just wants to go in and fight, and his skills. I totally frown upon as you, man. And I really, you know, big ups to you, bro, and coming out and speaking out on the facts concerning this thing about, you know, his whole trajectory. And it's been for years, man. It's been for years, just a controversial, you know, time and time again. We all know it. We all know the names, you know, Ignacio Beristain and Juan Manuel Marquez. You know, you have had, I mean, you know, amazing legends. I don't even remember all the names. I think Eric Morales too, Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia. A lot of people don't know this. Check this out real fast. I watch boxing from Mexico. I'm in Mexico. I'm living down here, down south, man. And I watch, you know, DAZN, pay-per-view, all these fights for free, man. Most of them are for free. All of them are for free down here in Mexico and television broadcasting, man, on certain stations. Yeah, man. Yep.
Nice. Awesome. Y'all get all the fights down there for free.
Yep.
I know they got that TV Azteca down there too, right?
Yeah, Azteca, and you got Space, and you got you know, just other channels, ESPN Knockouts. I mean, I get most of the fights for free, man. It's awesome on television. Yeah. So reason why I say this is because a lot of people don't know this, that, you know, even Mikey Garcia came out when he was when on the Kovalev Canelo fight. Mikey Garcia was invited to the Space platform. It's a television with the reporters there ringside, and they asked him before the fight while he was sitting down there with them. They were like, and it was all in Spanish though. You know, they were like, "Hey, Mikey, who do you think is going to win?" He's like, "Well." Demetrius Andrade said the same thing, same criticism. I mean, you can go on and on with the names. The Mexican reporter in ESPN. I mean, you could just go on, man. I don't even remember all the names, but Mikey Garcia did point out. He said, you know what? He didn't criticize him, but he just said facts. That's all it is. He just said, you know, he said, yeah, because they asked him, who do you think is going to win with, you know, Kovalev and Canelo? He's like, well, you know, I got Canelo because, you know, Kovalev, you know, he's out of his. He's old Kovalev. He's not in his prime anymore. And the same thing with so many, you know, several opponents with Canelo. And that's the only thing I frown upon. You know, I obviously do frown upon, and I keep it 100 with all fighters. You know what I'm saying? Recently, Kovalev popped dirty, right? Recently. I mean, you know, Dillian White, I mean, Big Baby Miller, the list goes on and on, man. I mean, with these disgusting cheating, you know, things. But same thing, I frowned upon it when Canelo popped dirty, man. Whatever excuse, whatever thing he wanted to say, meat, whatever, he popped dirty, man. And what did the WBC do? Come out and bring a new rule tolerating clenbuterol. I mean, that stuff I really frown upon. Just imagine, man, how big Canelo. I mean, he's big, I get it, but how much more he would be respected. Yes. Amongst the real, I'm not talking about Mexican Americans over there who live in the States, you know, family. I love them, family, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Mexicans who live in Mexico who hardly even talk English, man. You know, I mean, I'm telling you, man, I got the perspective down here. I hear it. I see it, you know, amongst community down here. And not everyone, of course, we love Canelo, you know what I'm saying? We love him. But, you know, people do see through the, you know, the opponents and, you know.
Yeah, it's more with him. Like you said it perfect, man. The respect level, you know what I mean, will be through the roof. For a long time, believe it or not, a lot of the Mexican legends like Julio Cesar Chavez, and they used to go around and ask them, like, what do they feel about Canelo? And though Canelo had the wins over Laura and Cotto, they still were hesitant to give it to him. Yep. And that made me go, like, why are they so hesitant? I mean, wouldn't they believe? But they see it too. They know, like, all the little corners that he cut is what they didn't have those luxuries when they were fighting. And when they were called the greatest of their time, they had to get in there on a fair platform, fair and square, and get in there and get the win. As for Canelo, and don't get me wrong, you know, Canelo, every cash cow gets an edge. You know what I'm saying? Floyd did it. He picks your gloves, he picks the ring size, yada, 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 which drug testing agency, all of these things. But my thing is, the way Floyd did it was subtle and sporadic. Canelo, to me, does it each and every in unnecessary times. For example, when Floyd put the catch weight on Canelo, those are two separate fighters from two separate weight classes. Canelo puts catch weights on fighters from his own weight class. Like, those little things is just too far. Why are you fighting Laura at a catchweight? You know what I mean? Why are you fighting different fighters at catch, like Chavez Jr. and all of these guys? Why all of these got to happen at catchweights or something? You know what I mean? And he went too far. And I think that made people go, you know what? I like Canelo. He's a damn good fighter. You can't take that away from him. But how can we fairly compare him to others when he's getting hooked up as much as he is?
And the thing about that, what you're saying about cutting corners, things of that nature, El Gallo Estrada is another name. And I'm saying this is all on Mexican broadcasting television. I made a video about it actually. He was interviewed by, Mexican reporters on ESPN and on Spanish, obviously. And say, hey, what do you think about Canelo? Blah, blah, blah. Right. And he said the same thing, man. He just said, it seems like he's been getting preferenced, treatment, and he's throughout his career. I mean, great fighter though. I mean, I love him, but it's like what you said, we got to respect. I'm not going to by any means knock the opinion of a legendary Cesar Chavez Sr. I'm not going to by any means knock the opinion and perspective of a Juan Manuel Marquez. We're talking about legends, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I remember Eric Morales, I made a video about that, You cannot negate. You can't say, oh, you guys are hating on Canelo. You're talking to Mexican legends who, like you said, they didn't cut corners. They had to fight. They had to go prove and fight the best. Rematch after rematch. Eric Morales, how many times did he fight Barrera? You know what I'm saying? How many times did he fight Pacquiao? I mean, we're talking about that perspective. Marquez, how many times did he rematch Pacquiao? I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
You got to compare that overall, bro, to the whole halls of time, man.
And these guys are speaking from that experience, which is why I definitely don't knock them. And I agree with these guys, man. It's like, and they give him the credit. They say, Canelo's a great fighter. He can fight. He has skills. I love it. But blah, 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 right?
But I will say this. It ain't too far gone for Canelo, I don't think. Meaning that, okay, he's at 168 pounds. He can clean that division. He can go through Billy Joe Saunders. He can go through, what's the other guy? Caleb Plant. Maybe even grab a David Benavidez. He clean up that division. And I think Charlo might be walking up there soon or Demetrius Andrade. If he cleans up 68, any talk about respect for Canelo, you got to give it to him. I mean, he does it on a fair playing field. No catch weights, no iffy this. If he runs through that division on a fair playing field, I think he earns his respect then. Then no one will ever be able to question. So it ain't too far gone from him. He can still kind of make up some lost ground. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he definitely can. He's young, man. He's young. He has years. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he talked about it was recently, I think in the whole buildup of the Caleb Smith fight. His team was talking about, Canelo talked about expressing the desire to retire in around 5 years. He still has, his objective is around 5 more years. And after that, he wants to dedicate himself to golf and to Canelo promotions, But yeah, he can definitely salvage what has been heavily criticized throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? But I got my eye closely on this because I'm not so trusting of that because why? Because we got to see what they're saying, because Eddie Reynoso and, Canelo's team have been expressing, Canelo himself expressed it. His desire is to be a global star, not just in the United States. His desire is to fight outside of the United States more. This was before the whole pandemic and stuff like that. So, but he has expressed that desire. And recently as well, Eddie Reynoso has come out saying that, so which is why we're seeing him fight commonly British fighters recently. That's one of the reasons. Yeah. I made a video breaking this down and, so I'm kind of skeptical of him really fighting the Charlos, really fighting the Andrades,
so you don't see
fighting
that,
the Benavidez. I don't think so. No. I think he's going to, that's my personal humble opinion because the way they're speaking and the way they're moving. I mean, we could just look at the recent opponents. They're not from the state of Kovalev, Smith, Rocky Fielding, Liam Smith. I mean, those are 4 names at least. You know what I'm saying?
But I see them also. I see that also as like a matchroom thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems to me that whatever Canelo got worked out is worked out with Eddie. And clearly he said he signed a 2-fight deal or to go 2 fights. It seems to me that he's more so just working with Eddie. And I don't know what that might lead to. I don't know if that can lead to a Demetrius Andrade fight. It could definitely lead to a Gennady Golovkin fight. Eddie got control of all of these dudes, man. And it just seems to me that Canelo and Eddie are just in business together. They got Oscar out the way, and these two they've been in business for a long time. You can take this all the way back to Liam Smith. Liam Smith, when they fought in Texas, in Jerry's World, that was Eddie and Canelo. Callum Smith, Daniel Jacobs was Canelo and
Fielding.
filled in. I mean, he's almost like a matchroom fighter, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Now, the thing here is exactly, I mean, the trajectory they're taking, and that was when he was under Oscar. And the question was, when he left Golden Boy, the question was, okay, Canelo, what are you going to do as a free agent now? He went right back to Eddie. So you see, that's what makes me think, I think we can forget, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can forget as of now, for the moment, all of 2021, I think we can forget those names, Charlo, Benavidez, and Andrade. I think we can forget Andrade. Why? Because look at all these years that Canelo has been fighting, like we said, right? In affiliation with the zone under Oscar. Why didn't Eddie bring Andrade? What happened there? You know, I mean, so I think that it looks like the aim of Canelo is more international, less United States fighters, and just going out to be a quote unquote. Canelo said recently, you know, months ago, or I don't remember when, but it was recent. He said that he wanted to be, you know, fight in Japan, and I don't think, I mean, I take it with a grain of salt as far as him fighting those big names that we want. I'm not saying he's not fighting big names, but those real tough competition, young prime fighters, you know what I'm saying? I don't think we're going to see those names, but we'll see, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think also Canelo is still in the DAZN game a little bit, because remember, Canelo was the guy that they were going to use to roll out the 200 plus countries. He was their mascot originally. They were going to use him and maybe Gennady Golovkin or him and Billy Joe Saunders to roll out to the world. So I think with Canelo, as far as his trajectory is concerned, the things he want to do in the future, DAZN right now fits the bill for that. They get to spread him around the world. Most importantly, if he's in business with Eddie and he got a whole bunch of opponents that he can fight. And if Canelo wants to get into the promotional business, you know what I'm saying, and he want to push his fighters out, who knows? Maybe he does business with DAZN through that too, because I'm hearing Eddie Reynoso and him want to get into the promotional game. So I think right now DAZN and Matchroom fits his business plan more than anything. And I think once he's done with that, once he's done with all of the Matchroom fighters, then he'll maybe look to go to do other things. But right now, it's the him and Eddie show, man. Him and Eddie are they running things right now.
Yeah, that's exactly why I highly doubt we're going to see those three names, at least those three names, you know, Benavidez, Charlo. I think we can just forget about that, man. I think definitely this year it's going to be the Yildirim, the Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant. I think those are for sure. And that's this year for him. It's over this year. Yeah,
but hey, look, man, they're going to have to, but see, Canelo can't keep running from Charlo, man. If Charlo go up to 68 and Canelo don't give him that work, because you know Charlo going to go through the WBC with Canelo. Clearly, if the WBC franchises Canelo at 68, man, that's
a big possibility, man. I mean, you got to know. Remember how buddy they are, man. You know, WBC with Canelo, and I'm not knocking. I mean, we're just speaking facts. That's all. You know what we see and what we've been. You know, so I just even if Charlo did move up, man. Suleiman will come to the rescue and say something. Oh, you know, we're going to do this, and you know, now this, and complicate things. Look how confusing he made it with Teofimo Lopez, man. What did he say first? And that's what I'm saying. The reason why I say this is because we see Suleiman's behavior and conduct, and he obviously he would do it in a heartbeat for Canelo, for example. Teofimo, right? First, he's not undisputed.
Okay.
No, and then he turns around. No. He is undisputed.
Right.
And every, you know, I know it. And he himself said it. I know it's confusing. I know, but we got to adapt to it, blah, blah, blah. And he says, I'm not going to debate this because I don't even think he can give a clear answer, you know? Yeah, exactly. He'll make them moves in a heartbeat for Canelo in 168 if Charlo moves up, man.
He makes rules on the fly, Renee. Like this dude originally wasn't supposed to be transferred, and it was to be transferred. The Teofimo Lopez situation, man, the WBC just made a fool of themselves. They just so deep into it right there, they don't know which way to go. And I think at the end of the day, they just trying to keep Teofimo Lopez or keep them away from Devin Haney or whatever the case may be. It's a mess up there, man. It's a pure mess. And they making rules on the fly. That's what makes it so bad. You know, they done, like you said, they've done it for Canelo. They've changed rules on the fly. They've done it for Teofimo. The WBC, man, you just don't know, dog.
Yeah, exactly, man.
It's really
I don't know if you're going to get to the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to get to the chat. Well, actually, no, man, I'm about to get ready to shut it down. I got to get ready to get out of here, man. We've been going for a nice little while, man. I really appreciate you coming on through and rocking out with me, Renee. Let everybody know where they can find you at, fam.
Yeah, y'all can check me out simply at Renee Box Young, man. Just speak the sport of boxing, love it. Here on YouTube, Renee Box Young, Instagram and Facebook, Renee Jr. As a matter of fact, if you go to my channel, Renee Box Young, you'll see in the descriptions of the videos where you can find me at and other platforms. Thank you so much, man. Great honor, man. Always, man. It's great to chop it up with you, man. Thanks so much.
Man, anytime, Renee, you're more than welcome. Your family, bro. Anytime you want to slide through, just holler at the homie. Anytime I drop that link in the chat, just holler at the homie. You know, you more than welcome. You fam. Thank you for everything you support. And I support you and I'm in your corner 150%. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. Peace out, man.
All right, peace out, fam. All right, y'all. That's the homie right there, Renee Box Young. Much love to everybody that sat through with the homie. It's good to have any of y'all, man. Y'all want to jump on here, just chop it up with me about, whatever boxing subject that comes in your mind for real. No matter what the title say. You know what I mean? Just let me know. This is a Keith Thurman video. This was a redo over the last live stream that I had just recently done, man. And we went for a nice little while on that one. So a little tired out, but we hit all the points that we wanted to hit on Keith Thurman versus Terence Crawford situation. So for anyone who came in late and y'all missed that, go to the first half of the stream, and we pretty much tackled that whole particular issue, man. At the end of the day, I don't believe that neither side is serious. I think they're both bluffing. I think they're both clout chasing. I think Bob knows that he's not going to pay big money for Keith, and Keith knows that Bob is not going to pay big money for him, but he's just kicking up dust. At the end of the day, Keith Thurman, you got a route. Your route name is Errol Spence Jr., the dude that took all of the prestige away from you, the guy that's walking around boxing with your belts, your titles. You told the world that I never lost the WBC, which is pure facts. You gave it up. You just say, hey, I'm injured. I don't got time to fight. You gave up your belt. So no one technically beat you for it, but someone's wearing it though. So what you going to do about that? You know what I'm saying? And that's my whole point, man. I would rather see Keith Thurman to go after Errol Spence, put the same energy into Errol Spence, get back into the win column, get the fans confident in you again, get your momentum back up, just get back into the win column and then come on back and try to boss up on us. But right now, fans, we too hooked on Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford. We don't want nothing to come between that. We've been waiting 3 long years for that fight. Now, our Bob Arum is not obligated to pay top dollar and lose money just because PBC does it. If that's what they want to do, that's their business. Y'all know where Bob Arum sits. You know where his relationship sits with Terence Crawford. You know Terence Crawford's situation. Everyone in the know. It ain't like these are secrets. Everyone in the know. By this conversation going public, that means it ain't happening. By this conversation getting out the way it is, it ain't happening. You know what I mean? Bob Arum would have never spoke on it, exposing it, because we didn't know nothing about it. And Keith Thurman wouldn't be blowing up, going ape shit on Instagram over something like this when you got Errol Spence Jr., the man who told you I stopped you in 6 to your face, walking around boxing, just crapping on you, saying who cares about you. You got Showtime Sean Porter saying you're not worthy. I told the people at PBC to not line me up with Keith Thurman. I don't want to have anything to do with Keith Thurman. That's how they talking about you, Keith. And they got your belts. They're on your side of the street. Those are pay-per-view fights. I would pay the big money, I'm sure, right? Because I'm sure you wouldn't go to Bob asking him for something that I wouldn't give you. So there's your route. No need to kick up dust and make a big noise. Get back into the win column. Build your momentum, Keith. Make us believe again. You know what I'm saying? Make us believe again before you kicking up dust with these crap offers, knowing that ain't no crowds, knowing that you ain't got no belt, knowing that no one's talking about you. People forgot where you're from. They love the haircut. I love the haircut. Your scoop ball head ass got a cool haircut. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Keith, you got to get back into the win column. And that way you can boss up from that point. No need to go into the cussing out a 90-something-year-old dude talking about you going to hit him in the... That's unnecessary. Put that energy towards Errol Spence Jr. Real spill. Thumbs up for the fam on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Much love to y'all all. Let me make sure I haven't overlooked no one on the way out. Yep. Everybody is good. Much love to y'all. Check out the fam, Renee Box Young. He just left a link in the comment section. Check out the fam. That is a great boxing channel right there. Great boxing mind. I get a lot of them that come through the chat. All y'all do. You know what I'm saying? And I got nothing but respect for all of the boxing minds, regardless of your opinion. I can give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Much love to y'all all, and I see y'all real soon. Much love. To the next one. Peace out.